Most stalwart supporters representing the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and a team that we've not seen in this particular type of extra 300 because they upgraded in 2017 to this 330 LX model. Getting airborne now, the Royal Jordanian Falcons, and they'll be getting into formation, ready to run in and start their display shortly.
Beautiful formation takeoff.
So we mentioned we'll hopefully soon see a pit special. The Royal Jordanian Falcons originally equipped with the pit special before moving on to the extra, and I believe this is probably the third mark of extra they've flown.
Yes. The team started life in 1977 at the behest of His Majesty King Hussein himself, a pilot of great renown. They started out with their first British display in 1979 and were then regulars with the pits on the European and Middle Eastern display circuits, plus occasional visits to North America indeed, until 1992 when they converted to the extra EA 300. Initially at that time the mid-wing model, they then later switched to the low-wing 300L now, and really new dimension has been added to their sequence in the past 6 or so seasons with this 330 LX model, one of the most recent developments in the line of high-performance, unlimited competition and display aerobatic aircraft designed by the German aerobatic pilot and engineer Walter Extra. And this team, one of its greatest exponents. You can see they've started off in box formation, the smoke goes on, and we present to you the 2023 Royal Jordanian Falcons. So they start off in box formation for an initial quarter cloverleaf manoeuvre, drawing in the sky the outline of a quarter of a cloverleaf. And we'll soon see the first of the formation changes, as from box they go into T for Tango formation for the line abreast loop. And out of that, the team will be transitioning into a left-hand barrel roll. Once again, as if tracing the outline of the inside of an imaginary barrel in the sky. And as they head towards the right-hand end of the display line and roll out, they'll be using a wing over to bring themselves back onto the display line for a cloverleaf once again, but this time to the left. Leading the team for 2023 is Captain Jamil Zayad, who joined the team back in 2002 as a display pilot. He first became leader in 2005, and he's also the director of operations as well as leading the team through its display. He joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 1992 and graduated from the King Hussein Air College 3 years later. He's got in excess of 3,400 hours in his logbooks, flying the F5 and the Mirage F1 in the Royal Jordanian Air Force on the front line. So there is that cloverleaf. And as they head away from us, they're doing so on what we refer to as the B axis. The A axis is the one parallel to the main runway. The B axis is at right angles to that. They head away from us and pull up, but now separating and putting the spoke on for the Falcon's heart. Very nicely executed. He's the chief pilot of the team, having joined in 2016. He is another graduate of the King Hussein Air College, flying the F5 in the fighter role, and then the Airbus C295 twin turboprop transport. And now the three-ship formation runs in in line astern for the trail loop. Very tight three-ship Vic formation. In which they loop at the right-hand end of the display line before fanning out. Three aeroplanes now going into line abreast, and we'll see them pull up in unison. The speed gradually bleeding off for synchronized stall turns. Up and up and up they go. And then each applying rudder. Beautiful synchronization. And we'll see now the lead and the left wingman going into mirror formation with the right wingman barrel rolling around the smoke as they execute a turn to the right. Flying in mirror to the leader is the left wingman in the 2023 formation. So many different famous display teams. We particularly think of the Blades team from 2XL Aviation, now disbanded of course, though 2XL still active in so many other areas. You might have seen in the static display, we had them at Cosford many times. Also the Extra 300, the mount of the Chilean Air Force aerobatic team, the Alconef, and the 330 model equips the French national competition aerobatic team, the Équipe de Voltige. Now look out in front of you. You can see the soloist heading away, you can see the three-ship heading in, inverted with smoke on. And this is time for one of the signature manoeuvres of the Royal Jordanian Falcons, as they now roll the right way up and head in towards the display datum for the Hashemite break. At King Hussein International Airport in the beautiful city of Aqaba. Every season for many a year, with only a few breaks, one of them having been due to the pandemic of course, the team has its aircraft transported over in C-130 Hercules transports of the Royal Jordanian Air Force for a wide-ranging European tour, of which this, as I said, is the first stop for 2023. A wide array of appearances at some of the European continent's main air shows scheduled between now and late September. Always these slots by the solo pilot used to fill the gaps between the main formation heading away and returning. There a demonstration of a gyroscopic upward tumble as the solo heads away to the right. If you look out to the left, there's the three-ship towards the main display line. Solo heading in opposition to them. The three aircraft crossing there with the solo going onto the knife edge, and up goes the three-ship in line abreast formation for a loop. The one pilot I haven't spoken about yet is the right wingman. That's Major Ahmad Al-Rababa, who joined the Royal Jordanian Falcons in 2019. Like all his colleagues, a graduate of the King Hussein Air College, doing so in 2009 as a fighter pilot. He flew the F-16 for 8 years, including a stint as an instructor pilot. main formation getting back together with the solo and slot man, Captain Sharif Hatouk, tucking in at the back of the formation for the final set of 4-ship manoeuvres, beginning with one that's absolutely beautifully executed by the team every time we see it, a slow roll in box formation. Now, an accurate slow roll is difficult enough to fly if you're on your own. Imagine then the added challenge of doing so in close formation with 3 other aircraft. Amount of coordination and concentration on the part of all 4 pilots. And out of that, against this steadily darkening sky, the team heads up and in a right-hand turn to bring themselves back in straight towards us on that B-axis at right angles to the runway. And as they do so, they'll be changing into Concorde formation. It's worth recalling that it's so appropriate to see the Royal Jordanian Falcons flying at an active Royal Air Force station because military cooperation between the UK and Jordan goes back many years. For so long, of course, it was greatly encouraged and furthered by King Hussein himself, who was very heavily involved with number 6 Squadron, Royal Air Force. Spent a good deal of time stationed out in the Middle East. And so the team are honoured guests whenever they fly at an RAF base, but here they are coming in now Concorde formation for the final manoeuvre of their display, the Concorde break. That was the 2023 Royal Jordanian Falcons.